Good evening to respected dignitaries, teachers, and my dear friends. I welcome you all to this web talk show. We, the students of Class 8 from St. Ursula Girls High School, have successfully finished all our tasks for the British Council project, Healing Hands. In this project, we learned about the life and struggles of women in the field of medicine. The scare of the hour is the widespread of pandemic of COVID-19, which has brought the whole world to a stand, even so much so that all our schools, colleges, offices, and even worship places have been closed for months. But the only professionals who came in the forefront to our rescue were the ones in the field of medicine. Today, we have with us a very hard-working, dedicated, and a renowned anesthetist, Dr. Prerna Gomes. Ma'am is one of the senior most in her field and has an experience of more than 30 years in this field. Currently, she is the head of the Department of Anesthesia at Justo Hospital, Mumbai. Thank you, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time with us.
A very good evening to you all, and thank you so much for inviting me on this session.
Thank you, ma'am. I have some questions that I would like to ask you. So, my first question is, what made you choose your profession?
Um, my parents came from a very humble background. My grandparents were farmers, so they belonged to a very small village. So during summer holidays, when we used to go to the village and any one of us fell sick, there were no doctors available. We had to at least drive for half an hour, 45 minutes to reach to a hospital. So as a young girl, maybe at the age of 7, 8 years, I thought at that young age I decided that no, I think I should take up medicine as a profession.
Okay. How was your journey as a medical professional till now?
Well, it is a very satisfying and a very gratifying profession. It is totally hard work. And once you decide to take up medicine as a profession, you have to sacrifice a lot of things personally, like that if there is a function or marriage or anything in your house, and if you are studying or if you have exams or if you have duties, well, you can't then attend it. So mentally, most of us, when we take up medicine as a profession, we know that we would have to sacrifice a lot of our entertainment, a lot of our family time.
As a professional, what difficulties have you faced due to COVID-19?
Okay, as you all know, that COVID-19 started in the December of 2019 from China, and the world was not prepared. We were not prepared, and it hit us very hard initially. And because it is a very, very infectious disease, your safety is also in line. And it is an invisible enemy. You can't see this virus with your naked eyes. It's everywhere. So the first month was very difficult for all of us, but the international bodies, especially the European countries, the UK, United Kingdom, England helped us a lot because it hit us before us. So we had these webinars and seminars almost every day. They were sharing their experience with us. So as a medical fraternity, we were almost ready, taking their advice and their experience. Within a month or two, we were ready to face this very well.
How do you manage time for your home as well as hospital?
It is difficult. My family has been very supportive, both before my marriage as well as after my marriage. My husband, I have two sons. One is 28 years old and one is 20 years old. They have been very supportive in my profession, because they know it's total hard work, long working hours. Sometimes whole night I'm working, and I come tired, and they don't disturb me when I'm tired or sleeping or catching on my sleep. So they have been a very supportive family.
How can one take precautions to protect his herself from this disease?
Yes, all of us are aware that this is a very infectious disease. The most important thing is, as soon as you leave your house, is to wear your mask. Second thing, you need not touch your face. It is through your nose, eyes, and mouth this virus enters. So you need to keep washing your hands with soap. Any ordinary soap. This is a very weak virus, so any ordinary soap within 20 seconds it kills the virus. So at least 8 to 10 times minimum, making sure that while you wash, there is a technique of washing your hands. So make sure that while you're washing your hands, the tap is not running. So you rub, there are 6 steps of washing your hands, and then you run the water again. So that is number 2. Then keeping a social distancing. Now they have used the term all over the world as social distancing. Ideally it should be physical distancing. So you keep a physical distance of 6 feet, minimum 3 feet to 6 feet. Then you don't need to go to crowded places. Avoid going to crowded places. You girls have been in having your school from home, and therefore it is very necessary. Only when you have to go out in an emergency, you need to go out. So mask wearing, washing your hand, physical distancing, these are some of the very simple steps but very effective. And the policies which our government has laid down, that not to go out of the house only when it is needed. So if you follow these simple things, I think we will overcome this virus. It is a very weak virus. We will fight it out.
How has this pandemic impacted our country?
It has impacted not only mentally, physically, but in a very big way financially also. Each and every sector, whether it is medicine, whether it is corporate, whether it is government, whether small scale industries, everything has been affected financially. Also that mentally, like you are at home, you just cannot go out. How long can you say? So mentally also it has affected, and physically you can't go out, you can't play out. So it has affected us in total. It's financial, mental, physical, emotional, everything.
How are COVID-19 patients taken care of?
Now that we know exactly how this disease is to be fought, we are taking excellent care. I would talk about my hospital. I work in a hospital called Jaslok Hospital and Research Center in Mumbai. It is a multi-speciality hospital. We have everything, whatever treatment available in the world, we have it in our hospital. So what we decided after the pandemic hit us in the month of March, end of March, April, we divided this hospital in 3 zones. We have a green zone where all non-COVID patients are taken care of. We have an orange zone where we suspect that this patient can have COVID. That's another zone. And a red zone where all COVID patients are taken care of. And we have excellent quality of all levels of PPE. PPE is personal protective equipment. So you must have seen in the TV that how we are wearing those. It's like a space suit. Have you seen it? It's like a space suit. So we wear it for 6 to 8 hours. And we are very careful when we are taking it out, because most important is when you treat a patient and we are wearing those suit, when we are taking it out, you yourself can get infected. So there are steps how to take that thing. That is called doffing. So we take it out in a very systematic way, and every floor has a shower facility. Immediately we have a head bath with soap. As soon as we treat the patient and we come out, we need to have bath. So that facility is also being provided now. So our staff is quite safe. Our patients are very safe. There is no inter-patient infection or infection from the patient to the staff or vice versa, from the staff to the patient. So we have been very particular now.
What are the future challenges you think we will face after this pandemic?
Future challenges is well, this pandemic we have to be mentally prepared, and most of us are now that this is not going to go off so easy. Minimum for a year or two till the vaccine comes. So now we have to live with this called new normal lifestyle. So you have to adjust to the lifestyle. We cannot be sitting at home. We need to understand, as we know that it is important to wear a mask while leaving home. It is important to wash our hands. It is important to have a social physical distancing from people. It is important that we do not go into crowded places. So with this, I think we will be facing this for another year or two.
How do you manage stressful situations when even patients and their family members are afraid?
Um, it is very stressful situation because your family cannot come and see. You are sick. Your family cannot come and see. So what we have done in our hospital is that we have a psychological support system. We have people who talk to the patient. Each and every floor has been given a mobile phone, so that the patient can, with that phone, you are in an era of social media, so we are able to talk, they are able to talk with their loved ones looking at through this phone. So we are able to connect to the family, and our staff have a very vigorous training on how to deal with these patients psychologically and emotional support, because they are sick. So you need to be very nice to them, support them in their sickness.
What is the reaction of your own family about you curing COVID-19 patients?
When the pandemic was declared in March 11th of this year, we discussed it in the family when having dinner that this is, if it comes to our country, it is a very infectious thing, and when I go to the hospital, I will not sit with you to have dinner or breakfast. I will not have meals with you. So for 4 months, I was staying alone. When I used to come back to my room, I used to be alone with an attached bathroom. I would not meet my family. And they were very supportive on it, and they knew exactly that I have to protect them. Okay, it's not me only. I have to protect my family because I'm coming from treating a patient of COVID. So they got used to it, and I still maintain that when I go to the hospital, I come back, I don't meet them for 5 days.
Do you really think that life will be normal and vaccinations will be available to cure this disease?
Yes, we have to be very positive and optimistic that life would be normal, but not very soon. It will at least take a year and a half, 2 years to be normal, because we know everywhere, each and every country is trying their level best to have this vaccine ready. So yes, we should be optimistic. We should not, this little tiny, you can't see with your naked eyes virus cannot dominate. We are very intelligent people. We are very intelligent breed of people. Definitely, the vaccine will come, but it will take time.
Is there any experience which you would like to share with us?
Yes. I would say that I got infected with COVID-19 myself. So you don't need to panic. It is just like a simple flu. And I was also admitted in a hospital, and I recovered completely. You have not get nervous. As soon as you have any kind of cold or a sore throat or body ache, you have to immediately inform your doctors. So don't panic. You need to have a good nutritious food. Now in India, we have a very balanced diet. We have protein, we have vegetables, we have fruit. We just don't eat frozen food. We eat fresh food. So it is important that you develop your immunity by eating good fresh vegetables, fruits. So your immunity has to be up to fight this illness.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was wonderful to talk with you.
Thank you so much for inviting me and all the best for your future. Don't worry, we will be able to fight this COVID 19 virus very well. And all the best for your future endeavor. Whatever profession you like to take, work hard towards it and enjoy your life. This virus cannot hold us back. We will be back to normal very soon. So, all the best. Thank you for calling me for this meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening to respected dignitaries, teachers, and my dear friends. I welcome you all to this web talk show. We, the students of Class 8th from St. Ursula Girls High School, have successfully finished all our tasks for the British Council project Healing Hands. In this project, we learned about the life and struggles of women in the field of medicine. The scare of the hour is the widespread pandemic of COVID-19, which has brought the whole world to a stand, even so much so that all our schools, colleges, offices, and even worship places have been closed for months. But the only professionals who came in the forefront to our rescue were the ones in the field of medicine. Today, we have with us a very hard-working, dedicated, and a renowned doctor with us. Madam, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello all, this is Dr. Shriti Bezhalwar. I have been practicing homeopathy since last 18 years now. Presently, I am practicing at Hingna Road, Nagpur, and it is very, very. I cannot express the things you are going through right now as students. बहुत सारा नुकसान भी हुआ है आप लोगों का, and you have been coping up with all the losses in studies and all also, and you will, you people are doing great. As I came to know about the project you are handling from your teacher Prashansa Dilemma. Okay, so all the best for the task you are completing now. Okay, yeah, tell me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I would like to ask some questions.
Yeah, sure.
What made you choose your profession?
See, I'll have to elaborate this a bit. Yeah. Okay, I have two inspirations who made me choose this profession, and both of them belong to different different scenarios. The first one was my maternal grandmother. She was a teacher by profession, and she had been a very independent woman who handled home as well as her work very efficiently. The second inspiration is one of the doctors who used to treat me when I was a kid. I would like to name his, उनका identity यहाँ पे मैं reveal करना चाहूँगी. He was late Dr. M.G. Kannamwar, who had a very, very busy practice, but very humble person. He is no more now. May his soul rest in peace. But I still remember him treating his patients very efficiently and, very down to earth person. So these were the two inspirations who made me choose this profession.
How was your journey in medical profession till now?
Tough one, actually. there are three fronts where we have to, while being into the medical profession, basically according to my experience till now, as a student earlier and as a practitioner now, on personal front, you have to manage the family expectations of the family. Also, while being a student, and if your parents are, not bit financially strong, you have to manage how to, handle the studies, handle what are the requirements while being a medical student, and then ups and downs of the career. These are the three difficulties which I think everyone who is going through the medical profession has to undergo. And being a female, you have to adjust a lot for higher studies and all. Like, I am 42 right now. You people still are in a good this thing good atmosphere now. Initially, when I was a student of your age or maybe older, for a female to go for higher studies still was difficult. So while choosing for higher studies for MD, that time I had to undergo very many stresses regarding the approval for the studies and all those things. So it was a tough journey to reach here.
What is your
Yes.
opinion on this pandemic of COVID-19?
See, I don't have to be very political in answering this question. It's a global hazard basically. अब ये man made है या नहीं है, you cannot say that, you cannot comment on that, but it's a global hazard which has been created or which has been, made more difficult to handle by certain issues. And being a medico here, first we have to keep humanity while treating patients. So at this point, there are two sides of the same coin, where you have to keep humanity as well as your profession intact. So it's a very difficult time in this pandemic.
As a professional, what difficulties have you faced due to COVID-19?
As a professional, see, basically, first thing is handling family, protecting your family and protecting yourself while handling the patients. That is the prime thing which we have to take care of. Next thing is social responsibility. Social responsibility of being a citizen, social responsibility of being a doctor, and social responsibility of being a person who has to educate other people to prevent this particular pandemic to be spread, and to solve the queries of the patients regarding this pandemic. Regarding many queries are there. Presently, the queries of patients have been intensified because of the present scenario. Lack of beds in hospital. Then there are issues where people are not financially sound for everyone to be treated in the family. These all things are very difficult, and you have to handle this. Like, mine is a very small setup, but still people come with so many queries, and you have to handle those, you have to solve those, and you have to try to solve the issues which they are facing at social level too. These are very difficult tasks.
How do you manage time for your home as well as hospital?
Difficult. I have shifted time of my OPD to the evening time only. Initially I used to go twice in a day, and now handling home with the profession is a bit difficult because you have to be up to date on both the fronts. So we have to compromise something at home, and we have to compromise something at work as well. So it's a you have to give 100% to both, but you have to compromise in terms of time, energy, everything. You have to कम energy में ज़्यादा काम करना है. ये चीज बहुत important है.
How can one take precautions to protect his herself from this disease?
First and foremost thing is you have to be aware and make people aware of the precautionary measures which they have to follow. Social distancing, avoid meeting, avoid birthday parties, avoid unnecessary gatherings where you can cut short on people. Next thing is wearing of masks, and not only wearing mask properly. Okay, you have to educate other people also how to wear the masks properly. Then sanitizing home, sanitizing your surroundings, sanitizing the things which you bring from outside. These are the basic, small tips where you can, prevent the spread of the disease. Hmm?
How has this pandemic impacted our country?
It has been a very, disastrous thing. First thing which uh, this pandemic has, पूरा जड़ से हिला दिया, that is the economy. Not only India's economy, individual economy, as well as world's economy, because there are so many loss of jobs. Then socially also people are, not too, there is no social health wise, as well as the social health is also detrimented. Then loss of talent is there. You might have heard, beta, that many doctors have lost their lives due to this pandemic. I suppose till date in Maharashtra itself, it has been 400 plus doctors who have lost their lives, and they all were good doctors. Like even I have lost few of my students whom I used to teach when I was a teacher in, no, when I was lecturer in medical college. So loss of talent, those people would have been a better doctor in future. They have, those people have been lost. So ये सारी losses जो है वो irreparable है. इकोनॉमिकल लॉस थोड़े सालों में अपन लोग कवर कर लेंगे, बट ये लॉस अपन कवर नहीं कर सकते हैं. इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट.
How are COVID-19 patients taken care of?
See, symptomatic treatment presently is the only thing which all the doctors are doing, because there are vague symptoms. कुछ symptoms जो है वो common है, like running nose, then fever, then headache, then body ache, then malaise, which are common for every viral fever. Then as a medico, you have to differentiate between the normal viral thing and this particular COVID thing. Then you have to educate the patient then that why and how he will be treated. Okay, you have to make them comfortable. Even if the tests are positive, you have to make them comfortable that we can take them out of that particular situation. You have to counsel them. And then those symptoms which can be treated. See, mild and asymptomatic cases are easy to handle, but the severe ones, and moreover elderly people who are suffering with these things, have to be hospitalized, and they are being given symptomatic treatment. Hospitalization varies, hospitalization and the things which are done after hospitalization varies according to the patient's situation, health situation of the patient. Okay, so if the patient is having fever which is not responding, patient is treated in that way. If that patient has been diagnosed of COVID related pneumonia, the patient is treated that way. Depends upon what are the symptoms, because you don't have a particular medicine for COVID presently, isn't it? You are aware of that. So it's according to the symptoms we treat the patients.
What are the future challenges you think we will face after this pandemic?
First and foremost thing is the deterioration in the health parameters of all the people. I hope you understand this particular term. Health parameters का deterioration यानी after being affected by COVID, and उसके बाद में भी there are some after effects, isn't it? Means कोई भी बीमारी के बाद में कुछ ना कुछ रह जाता है. So those after effects will also affect the efficiency of the people later on. Then again, अपन ने अब पहले डिस्कस किया है that many lives are lost. उन losses को भरपाई नहीं किए जा सकते. Some have lost their father, some have lost their mother. These losses cannot be fulfilled. Then financial losses. There have been innumerable financial losses people are suffering. So कुछ कुछ चीजें ऐसी है जो एक बार लॉस होगी तो वापस से नहीं आती. सबसे बड़ा ये आफ्टर इफेक्ट है. ठीक है. इकोनॉमी धीरे धीरे इम्प्रूव हो जाएगी, बट इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे जो नुकसान हुआ है लोगों को, ठीक है, मीन्स द पर्सन हु हैज बीन इंडिविजुअली अफेक्टेड at that level, it's difficult to handle that.
How did you manage stressful situations when even patient and their family members are afraid?
See, you have to explain them what are the do's and don'ts, ifs and buts of every situation. Many people are, skeptical about hospitalizing the patient even if they need. You have to make them, you have to counsel them that why hospitalization is necessary and what things will be done in the hospital. And there are some people who unnecessarily want to be hospitalized. There are some people like that also, even if they don't have those symptoms. उतना ज्यादा intensity वाला symptom नहीं है, they don't have much intense symptoms, but still because of fear or anxiety they want themselves to be hospitalized. So you have to counsel them also. So ये task बहुत बहुत आराम से करना पड़ता है. You have to step into the shoe of the patient and accordingly you have to explain them the situation where you have to and where you don't have to be hospitalized. What is the outcome of the treatment? First thing is उनको काम करना बहुत जरूरी है. They have to be calm because lot of anxiety is related to COVID. I have had few people even after being negative, test negative आने के बाद भी they were anxious and वो anxiety की वजह से loss हुआ है life का. So that is a difficult thing. You have to handle the patients psychologically also. उसको psychological जो soothing atmosphere देना है, that is important. Okay, so that they are not panic stricken. So counseling is the foremost thing which you have to do while handling the patient. Treatment तो हो जाएगा, symptomatic जो treatment है, but to make the patient understand the gravity or the the importance of what to do and what not to do, that is the important point.
What is the reaction of your own family about you curing COVID-19 patients?
They are really scared. I have mom, like I stay with my mom, and she's 72. So first thing is she is always saying कि तू clinic मत जा, patients मत देख. But see, being a doctor, you have to be there. You cannot run away from situations. I have never been taught or I have never experienced running away from situations. So my immediate family, my mom, they always are worried whenever I come from the clinic. The first question is सर्दी खांसी बुखार वाले कितने patient देखे. So that anxiety is there, and even if I have some कुछ sore throat है या मैंने घर में छौंक डालते समय भी छींक दिया, like when I'm preparing food and at that time also if I sneeze, so she's panic stricken. अरे कुछ हो तो नहीं गया. So that is the situation. So it's difficult.
Do you really think that life will be normal and vaccinations will be available to cure this disease?
See, vaccinations will be available to prevent the disease. Okay, but since the virus is ever changing, you cannot stick to one type of vaccination. You understand, viruses, they mutate themselves. You might have read somewhere, पढ़ा होगा ना, viruses, they mutate themselves. So same vaccine cannot be useful in future also. ठीक है, जैसे जैसे viruses का mutation होगा, to a certain level we can prevent the disease, but अपने को individual level पे we'll have to follow the norms till many months or maybe year or so to prevent further infection and even reinfection of the disease. So जो new normal है उसको follow करना बहुत आवश्यक है अभी. It's very important to follow the new normal. ठीक है, vaccines will be there to prevent. Medicines, keeping the finger crossed. Antivirals even have to be evolved like the viruses they evolve. You have to evolve the medicine too. Homeopathy, definitely. Being a homeopath, we are there to treat homeopathically. But जो antivirals and all है, वो अलग अलग generations रहते हैं. तो जैसे जैसे virus evolve होगा, वैसे वैसे अपने को vaccines और medicines भी evolve करने पड़ेंगे. So it is a continuous process.
Is there any experience which you like to share with us?
Just 4-5 days back, I'll have to, my uncle, he was diagnosed of COVID, and he already has diabetes and hypertension. And first my cousin had come to me for just telling his symptoms कि पापा को ये problems है. And since he was exposed, he was very scared to come to my place. Then we decided to go for his all the required relevant tests. So he came positive. After that, the whole family who was staying together was panic stricken कि कैसे manage करे, because all of them were staying together. And साथ में रहने से infection पूरी family में spread होने का बहुत difficult है. And elderly people are they are difficult to handle that way also. They are very haughty, ठीक है ना, जिद्दी होते हैं, ऑब्स्टिनेट हो जाते हैं. तो वैसी सिचुएशन में हैंडल करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. एंड देन दे वर स्केयर्ड ऑफ मी आल्सो बिकॉज ही हैड विजिटेड माय प्लेस आल्सो. सो अगेन द होल फैमिली गॉट स्केयर्ड दैट हाँ अब ये इस फैमिली से उस फैमिली में स्प्रेड होगा. बट लकीली एवरीथिंग इज फाइन. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज a close relative of mine, after being treated for COVID, he lost his life because of the anxiety. So that is another loss to the family.
Thank you, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time with us. It was wonderful to talk to you.
Yeah, take care. Thank you so much, beta. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Prashansa, and thank you all the girls. So now we all know that we have to stay calm, wear a mask, and sanitize, maintain social distancing. Okay? Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.